West and extremities are synonymous. The over-exaggeration is built right into their economic model. There is a reason for it. Consumers are not ready to spend their savings until someone conveys to them that an existential crisis is looming right over their head. This is the essence of West's fear-mongering about the global warming. Hi and welcome to TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host, TEJASVI Malhotra, and if you haven't subscribed to the TFI English channel yet, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates. Coming back to the story, I'm here to tell you how Western countries are feeding on existential resources of other countries. More than a decade back, you must have heard the rumors of world getting destroyed in 2012. It's 2022 and I'm still talking to you. But it was not the only one prediction by the West which proved to be wrong. Ice age, depletion of ozone layers, acid rains, among others, are some of the predictions which has proven to be wrong in the final analysis. After Western countries lost grip on their erstwhile colonies, they were looking for a way to keep them under another fear. Initially, they did it through creating a rumor that oil reserves are depleting. Newly freed colonies wanted to have their own bites of industrialization, and at that time, oil ran the rooster. Though predictions about its depletion had been going on for nearly a century, it caught momentum in 1960s. So-called experts did not comprehend a common-sense logic that there were chances of more oil reserves being discovered in future. CIA jumped in with its prediction of structural decline in the Soviet Union. It created an environment of urgency which was later exacerbated by the oil crisis of 1970s. Finally, by the end of 1980, people started to get clear notion about the oil problem. Then these countries came up with a new concept from thin air. From the mid-70s to mid-80s, Western countries, especially America, faced cooler winters and not so hot summers as normal. In fact, in 1974 itself, Time magazine had found out that from 1940s, global mean temperature had dropped by 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit. Notice how they use Fahrenheit scale so that most people do not use their calculator for getting the accurate measurement of temperature change. They were also able to find scientists who told them that in Northern Hemisphere, ice and snow cover had increased by 12%. Newspapers like Washington Post, Boston Globe, Guardian, among others, also jumped onto the issue. The ice age did not come, but the rumor mongers did not want the attention towards them to fade away. So they went on to disseminate other extreme rumor. Now it was time for acid rain prediction. By the end of 70s, newspapers were publishing the stories about acid rain. Over the next decade, other news such as acidifying of lakes and poisoning of forests due to the phenomenon were making rounds. The main concern was metallic waste going down to water reserves, poisoning the groundwater. Self-righteous groups gave so much air to the possibility that the United States formed a program to study the acid rain and its effects. Finally, on 6th September 1990, Associated Press had to publish the findings of the study, which concluded that there was no environmental crisis regarding acid rain. But by that time, scientists had found a new phenomenon to seed fear among the masses. It was the first of such phenomenon which had at least some grounding in accurate scientific research works. The phenomenon was called hole in the ozone layer. In the Western Hemisphere, substances such as halocarbon refrigerants, solvents, propellants, and foam-blowing agents like chlorofluorocarbons, hydrochlorofluorocarbons, and halones, among others, were used in day-to-day lives. Montreal Protocol halted the use of most of the ozone-depleting substances, and by the end of 2000, the problem had been sidelined. At the end of the millennium, global warming finally became the key issue. Old predictions such as island nations like Maldives submerging again started to make rounds. Even Pentagon, supposed to enhance security of American public, jumped in and told Bush that climate change is more pressing concern. Al Gore played a key role during the first decade of 2000s. The attempt was successful in convincing developing countries like India and China that they need to halt their developmental agendas. Apparently, Paris climate goals can be attributed to decades-long propaganda around the global warming phenomenon. We are not saying that global warming is a fake news. In fact, it is reality, and we observe it every day. However, the way in which the narrative has been built reeks of self-moralism and arrogance. It is them who created it, and they should take action. But the hypocritical way in which they are doing it is like taking a private jet for climate summit. Oh wait, the tycoons of these countries are already doing it. Tell me a better example of deliberate foolishness.